from day one, rules and regulation, the store policy is that I'm not going to allow no Chinese person to shop at the supermarket, even though I'm in China.
Okay, updates about the Chinese supermarket that was opened in Abuja or in Nigeria, whereby they were not allowing Africans themselves, or I would say the natives, they were not being accepted to enter into that supermarket, whereby it is only Chinese that were allowed to enter into that supermarket and shop. I really applaud the people of Nigeria. Thank you so much for the act that you people did. You really stood out for everyone. You really stood out for every African out there. Thank you so much. So the updates are here. Let's get into listening to the updates, what they have to be telling us and what the government of Nigeria has to be telling us.
The woman who runs that supermarket, has she come, because she was supposed to be there on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Has she come to the FCCPC?
Yesterday was Wednesday. Yes, she came to FCCPC in time yesterday. Went to the supermarket along with her. She opened it up, went inside, and the discoveries were just enormous. Chinese embassy was there represented. The China Chamber of Commerce and Industry was also there. And all the products are labeled in yen. And that's the only currency they accept there, yen. That's again the law in Nigeria. You don't sell products not in naira. Everything you sell in Nigeria should be in Nigerian currency. And then issue of discrimination, that they only allow Chinese into the supermarket, has been confirmed. We have now instructed that she must put up a notice in front of that shop that says everybody can go into the supermarket and shop. And also the issue of the yen and the display of prices, we're discussing with her to put things right. At the same time, we're also discussing sanctions, of course, because a wrong has been done and bad behavior leads to consequences. So we'll look at our law and find out what these consequences are and apply to the full wrath of the law.
I've heard you talk about these consequences. It's about 10 million naira fine for each of the owners.
Yes, and then 10% turnover of last year's turnover for the company. Diplomatic relationship is different from interference. That does not stop us from doing our work. It's just an intervention, so to speak. Of course, wherever you have an embassy, the embassy is there to protect the interests of its own citizens. And this thing happened in the premises of the China Chambers of Commerce and Industry.
Just so people can understand, that place, yeah. I know this, it's in Lugbe, it's along the airport road.
Along the airport road, yes.
Now, that Chamber of Commerce, is that place considered Chinese government territory? Does it have the same status as an embassy?
In fact, it's even a rented place. It's owned by a Chinese businessman, quite all right. And it has a housing estate along with it. The housing estate has both Nigerians and Chinese in it. So the argument that they were having or giving as of yesterday was that the supermarket is solely for the use of the people that are in the housing estate. But we have found out differently, because they prevent people from the housing estate in as much as you are not a Chinese person from entering the supermarket also. And we have investigated that and we have found out they are indulging that practice.
Africans need to come to the front, because we need to talk about something, okay? So let's do this a scenario, okay? Pretend I, as an African, I go to China. Okay? And I decide that I want to open an African supermarket. Okay? In China, I want to open an African supermarket. So I go ahead and open an African supermarket in China, okay? And I go ahead and I hire Chinese guards, okay? And from day one, rules and regulation, the store policy is that I'm not going to allow no Chinese person to shop at the supermarket, even though I'm in China. Okay? Even though I'm an African in China, my policy is no Chinese are allowed. Okay? I prohibit Chinese people to shop inside my supermarket. So, this is what happened here in Nigeria, in Abuja. Can you imagine? In Nigeria. Okay? Chinese business owner, he go there. They open a Chinese market. They have the audacity to name it Abuja's Chinese supermarket. Huh? They open the supermarket. They hire African security, Nigerian guards. They hire Nigerian guards at the gate. You know, the gatekeepers? They hire Nigerians. And the store policy, the rules and regulation is no African is allowed to shop, to enter through the gates. Can you imagine? Isn't this, haven't we learned? Haven't we Africans learned? And this is what it means when people bribe you to do weird. People, Africans are getting bribed left to right, left to right. How can somebody pay you in your own house to be a security, to keep your own people out, to accommodate some colonizer? Can any African in China do this type of thing these Chinese are doing in Nigeria? Can an African go build a supermarket in China and then on the policy hire Chinese guards and then say no Chinese is allowed to shop inside this market? It's only for Africans. While inside of China, would Chinese people allow this? Why do African people allow such things? Huh? Why? This is, oh my God, my word. You see, I'm uttering. I can't even describe the feeling that I'm feeling. Like, how bold are these people, right? For the security officer that's Chinese, the gatekeeper, to even utter that no African is allowed. That's the policy of the store, of the Chinese owners. Inside of Abujah, Nigeria. We haven't learned anything yet. The people that's doing that stuff in the Namibia, they're doing it in Cape Town, Johannesburg, they're doing it there. South Africa, they're doing it there. They still do it. In Jamaica, they do it there. They go to these places. They come inside your house. And then they put up rules. And then they tell you, you cannot enjoy your own while inside of your home. But you can't do that in their house. Can you go to China and do that? Huh? Me, I'm here in America, even though I'm African. I cannot open a store and say only Africans. No. Discrimination is real. What is this now? Please, people, try to make this make sense, okay? So this is the news now. This news just came out. And the store owners, the Chinese store owners, went as far as, in the past, they was trying to keep the advertisement of the store a secret. So not a lot of people know of the rules and regulation of that store, right? Because they prohibited Nigerians, Africans, period, to shop there. So now the secret is out. And when some reporters tried to go there, they was followed up with the same rules and regulation. No Nigerian, no African is allowed to shop inside this Abujah's Chinese supermarket in Nigeria. No African is allowed. Can you imagine? Hey, colonizer. Hey.